Welcome to episode 6 of ArtBeats with Studio.t. I'm your host Gailani, bringing you everything about the art world here in Oman. This series is sponsored by PK Exchange and Oman Avenues Wall. Now, what do we have today? Well, we always told you that we'll bring you different genres of art, different styles of art, and different artists to see, meet, and get inspired from. Today is just that. You look at the mandala behind me. I'll tell you, it's not made by paint, it's made by thread. Why? How? And how does it come about? Let's meet the man who creates these beautiful pieces of art with thread, Mr. Alla Ganga Prasad. Let's welcome him to the show. So, welcome to the show, Mr. Ganga Prasad. It's great to have you here with us. So, our viewers are dying to ask, why thread art?
This is one of the most fascinating concepts which started off right from my school days, wherein the concepts of geometry, when it was being taught, drawing circles, drawing tangents within the circles, this is where the evolution of this concept had started up. And then I went a little further to understand deeper into how these patterns are created. This symmetry is when we draw. You see, we are very, very close to the nature. If you see a sunflower, the corona of the sunflower, you see the pattern, the petals of a flower, everything follows a very, very precise formation.
Wow.
Oh, what is this? Similarly, in nature also, if you see the flower, a simple example of a flower, the way the petals are arranged, nature has created that. And that symmetry does not permit the petals to wither away with wind or any of the natural forces.
Great.
Well, behind this is what we call it as the Fibonacci series.
Okay.
Fibonacci is a French architect, I suppose, who had evolved these concepts of arranging and understanding the layers of the nature. And this was my base concepts of understanding the geometry all about.
Okay, so as we said, it was geometry, it was repeating patterns, it was symmetry. Now, when did you start thinking about thread art?
Well, this was right from my childhood, maybe say when I was in my 7th grade of the schooling.
So from 7th grade, you knew you wanted to make paintings with thread?
Thread, yes. Because my elder brother is also a very good painter.
Yeah.
And when he was working on the acrylics and oil and the canvas, I said, why should I adopt the same medium? Let me explore another medium.
So it was a desire to do something different?
Yes, absolutely.
That's really important for our users to know. If you really want to stand out in the world of art today, you gotta do something different. So it was, when you said you wanted to make thread art, was it a tough journey?
Well, initially, yes, because when you make a drawing pattern and then you start nailing them up, okay, at a distance it's fine, but as you come closer, the nailing becomes a very, very tough and a Herculean task.
So I think the technical aspect of it, our viewers want to know. So how does one start because I think we're going to go to your workshop and see how you do it, but you have to hammer the nails onto a board.
Yes.
And?
Well, once the first we have a layout of the pattern, what you have thought about it. And once that layout has been prepared, every nail, every count matters.
So you have to hammer it in.
You just cannot have a random number of nails spread across.
Okay.
So if a circle of 360 degrees means either I have multiples of 360 or divisibles by 360, and that's when you enter into a perfect threading.
Oh.
If in case one nail is extra, instead of 360 nails, you have a 361 nail, then you enter into a spiral mode. Prior to this board, we have a design pattern which has been created.
Okay.
And that design is imprinted over this.
Okay.
And that is where I start the marking of the arrays, what you have seen.
Okay.
So once these arrays are done, the stencil is removed. And then I start the nailing process.
So then you nail these.
Yes.
So these are the different nails that are
these
there.
Are all the nails which has been mounted on it.
Okay.
And once this mounting is done, we remove the trace paper out.
Yeah.
We remove the tracing paper out, and then you get this backdrop as the sheet which we have fixed it up. I work on only the cloth, and this is my standard color which I go in for.
Okay,
Oxford blue cloth.
Oxford
the
blue
velvet
cloth.
Oxford blue cloth, because it gives you the depth of feel.
It really pops. I really like it. And then you've got all these different
the array
trends.
of threads are as and when I require a particular thread, I just pull it down.
Is there a specific thread? Do you purchase it from somewhere
Yes,
or
initially some of the threads I have got it from Beijing, and then later on I resourced it from Dubai. One of my friends is there who sends me.
So this is silk thread?
All are silk threads.
Silk thread.
Yes.
Is there qualities of silk thread that one should use or
Yes, because see, some of the silk threads are dyed. These are natural dyes which has gone in over this color.
So it's natural dyes that you use.
Because over a period of time, these threads should not fade out the colors.
Okay.
For that reason, any color when it is exposed to a UV light, it tends to fade off.
So it should be natural dyed.
Natural dyes.
So this board rotates. Why does it rotate?
Well, this is for the ease of weaving. Because if this is a fixed board, what happens is when I go to this end, it becomes difficult for me to reach out here. And threads pulling out and locking them between the head of this nail is very important.
Okay.
If you don't lock them, the threads will just pull out.
Oh, wow.
So when you do this, you need an utmost concentration while you do this activity.
And so how long, so this pattern inside that I see, this beautiful, how long does it take for you to do this?
Well, this pattern is consisting of how many layers if you count it. This internal ring has 24 layers of color in it.
24 layers of wow. And
you can observe in a circle, I created an oval pattern. Now this is where the geometry plays its role. And the perfect count of the symmetry, if I take a tangent from here to here, similarly it has to follow from here to here. So that is how I achieved this curve.
It's fascinating.
So absolutely your symmetry, your design which is imprinted in your mind, and you spread it across.
Okay, so now let's see the blueprint of this pattern.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Ganga Prasad, tell our viewers what they're seeing here.
Okay, the art form what you have seen earlier
Yeah.
in our conversation, behind that, this is where the base drawing has taken place.
Wow.
This is an absolute Fibonacci concept of squares and the arches one over the other. Because you will never get a perfect spiral unless and until you follow the Fibonacci sequence.
Okay.
So the Fibonacci sequence was adopted, and to generate this pattern, I think it took me almost a fortnight.
Okay.
So each of these arrays, what you see, we have 18 arrays like this.
Okay.
And in this 18 arrays, we start right from the center. This is the focus. This foci, this radii, and that's how you go on drawing squares over squares and arches over arches to generate the spiral mode. So once this design layout has been made, each of these arrays, we need to have a count as to how many nails should be fitted into.
Yeah.
So this pattern consists of 3,700 nails.
You heard it, 3,700 nails before it even starts, 14 days of planning. That's a lot of hard work. Kudos to you for doing it. Okay viewers, let me take you through the pieces of Ganga Prasad that are my favorite. Ganga Prasad, tell us what was your thought process about this?
This is a time lapse. Suddenly one day I thought, what if in case the watch slows down and comes to a halt?
Wow.
That was the idea we had.
So that was the concept of what if time slows down
And stops.
and stops. Wow. Okay.
Slow motion. So can I create that?
Wow.
Creation led to this time lapse.
So this is a time lapse. Wow.
Back to geometries, perfect geometries, nothing more than that.
Okay, so let's come to the crown jewel of your collection. For me, the true masterpiece, this peacock. I have to tell you, when I saw it the first time at the waterfront, I stopped in my tracks. I was like, the craftsmanship, the impeccable way this was done, it was truly outstanding. Tell me a little bit about this.
Well, the peacock, the fan deck of the peacock with its array of colors, it's a challenging task to replicate it with threads. Of course, with paint you can manage because you have the flexibility of creating a shade of your own. But with threads you have fixed colors. In that fixed colors, if I have to work and bring it to a close proximity, is where the challenge was. If you see, each of this course consists of multiple layers. If you count on these, approximately we have some 27 layers of threading done over it. That is how this pattern has been generated. And trial and errors brought me to this perfection.
How long did you take to make this?
Well, it took me a year and 1 year.
Okay, so the ultimate in symmetry, positivity, and radiant vibes is the mandala. And this mandala, which we started with, I wanted to bring all of you back. Tell us a little bit about the elements you've used in this mandala.
Well, in this mandala, I have focused only on copper.
On copper
as an element.
Okay.
And then a symmetric pattern with the spectrum of colors.
So all these rainbow of colors over here,
yes.
and all of this is copper.
Your copper tubes.
Oh wow!
It's embedded in a copper tube ring.
So is it the energies of copper which you were really wanted to?
Yeah. Copper has a property of radiating positive energies.
Wow!
So in a home, if you place it out, we presume that the whole atmosphere around the house generates a sort of a positive vibes into it.
So a mandala on a copper frame surrounded by copper will put radiance and positivity in your space. I did not know that. So I'm definitely going to try and get something like this for my place. I believe this has already been sold.
Yes, the very inception when I started off, it was booked up.
It was booked out. So if all of you would like something like this in your home, you want a piece of this amazing art by Ganga Prasad, follow the links of the artists on our page. So thank you for coming to the show and presenting this really meticulous form of artwork to all our viewers. I've just been fascinated by this unique form of art. So thank you for your time.
My pleasure, Mr. Gailani.
And for all of you watching, keep watching for the next episode of ArtBeats, where we bring you something more unique, something different, and another genre of art. Keep watching.